Good afternoon. Welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. Details about the reconstruction process in Old Providence that were unknown continue to become public knowledge. This week, the new director of the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management announced the finding of irregularities in the reconstruction.
Javier Pava Sanchez, new director of the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management, appointed by President Gustavo Petro, said in an interview to a media agency that irregularities have been found in the reconstruction process of Old Providence.
Effectively, we are aware of several irregularities that we began to see in the process. I was in charge of the coordination of the unit, and during the process we received several notifications of information with several irregularities that occurred throughout the contracting processes. We requested the National Unit. At that time, the information was partial. There has always been information on some issues and others have not been specific. Already at this time requested in office more specific information, and I find a series of information that is not complete, with some figures that do not correspond with the information and still need information that requires more precision.
The new director of the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management said that in the reconstruction process, infrastructure such as the hospital on the island should have been prioritized and to work together with the community.
In the plenary session of the House of Representatives, the proposal was presented by the island representative, Elizabeth J. Pang, to debate the port costs of the border departments.
In order to achieve changes in port costs, Representative Elizabeth J. Pang presented before the Congress of the Republic a proposition where she seeks to open a political control debate on port costs in border departments.
Through the second commission, we have presented a project addressing the port issue, not only as the Department of San Andres, but also as Vaupés, Leticia, and Guainía, where they have similarities, where the system by law for the whole country is that in these, the rates must be in dollars, and we're seeking to depolarize our subsistence, and we're seeking to depolarize our livelihood and cabotage ports. That is what we're doing, fighting through this political control that we are going to make to the Ministry of Transportation, to the Superintendency, to the Governor of San Andres, to the Mayor of Old Providence, to the Port Society, in search of being able to lower the cost of living through the products of the family basket.
The House representative is working on lowering the cost of the products of the family basket in the department, which today are a headache to the island families.
And the interim governor informed the community about the remodeling of the collection center where vaccines and other biological supplies will be stored.
The collection center located next to the San Luis Health Center was remodeled under the leadership of the Departmental Governor's Office and the Risk and Disaster Management Unit.
We have always had this place, but we remodeled it at a cost of about 1,800 million pesos with the Risk Management Unit. Here we will keep the vaccines, the products that need special care in the refrigerators, and the refrigeration system for all the biological elements used by the Secretariat of Health in all its different processes.
With the remodeling and adaptation of the collection center, it is expected that vaccines and other biological elements will be better disposed, in addition to increasing the storage capacity, which will be beneficial for the community.
Special waste collection operations continue on the island. For this reason, those who lead these activities share the schedule that has been stipulated for the month of September.
The head of operation of Naranjo Collection gave a reminder explaining the difference between special waste collection trips and routes.
When I talk about routes, the collection vehicles go through the main roads of the different neighborhoods, and when I talk about dates, it is when we enter a specific neighborhood to make the collection.
Liña Ricaurte also announced the points where special waste will be collected in the coming days.
En este mes de septiembre iniciamos.
In this month of September, we started a route in downtown in all of Newbald Avenue, Almendros, Obrero neighborhoods, and the Black Dog neighborhood. Tomorrow, we will have a route in parallel to the airport, the Strait of Red Ground, Siri Bay, around the Rock, and Cabañas. In addition to that, tomorrow, September 2nd, we will be in a massive collection drive in the neighborhoods of Campo Hermoso, San Francisco, and Red Ground. Also, next week, we have scheduled collection drives in Schooner Bight and Tom Hooker.
The next routes not mentioned will be on September the 3rd on the Tom Hooker Road, on Monday, September 5th from the Bight and all of the San Luis Road, and on Tuesday, September 6th in the Street 4. The big collection drives will also take place on September 7 in Schooner Bight, Friday, September 14 in New Guinea, Friday, September 16 in Los Bight, September 21st in the entire Rock Hole area, September 27 in Corrales, and lastly on September 28 in the Street 4. The schedule for the collection will go from 8 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon, from Monday to Saturday.
As of 2023, all Colombian citizens will have to carry digital ID card. Here are the details of this decision.
Although it is not mandatory at the moment, it will soon be indispensable to carry it in order to carry out all the corresponding procedures. In this way, it is established that the digital ID card would be mandatory from the second quarter of 2023, which would put the months of April, May, and June as the goal for all Colombians to carry it. Since last December, in order to have access to the digital ID in Colombia, it was necessary to request an appointment through a digital platform. However, for those who have not been able to do it by this means, the entity announced that this will not be the only way to request it. According to the institution, as of September 1st, any citizen will be able to go to any office of the National Registrar without an appointment. The cost of this new document is 55,750 pesos, either with or without an appointment. This will facilitate the process to those people who find it difficult to access the virtual world and prefer to do the process in person. It must be taken into account that from the moment the request is made, the delivery and authorization of the new documents take between 10 and 15 days.
Dissatisfaction and discomfort has been generated by the intervention works in one of the neighborhoods of the department.
The community of the sector of Las Palmas is dissatisfied with the work being carried out by the company of the island, which has caused obstruction in the mobility of residents and also accidents.
Every time I pass here, if it rains, I cannot cross because this is in a bad condition. Veolia was working, but with the speed they are going, they will get nowhere. This is very bad. Cars can't go through here because they skid.
My daughter was going down with my grandson on her motorcycle and she fell because of this mud pit. Sincerely, if they're fixing it, they should do it by sections, by parts, because this is not safe. You see how the flip-flops are full of mud? Not just one pair, but several. And you have to go in the house like this. You have to damage them up because your shoes are full of mud.
Although the community stated that the work that affects them belongs to the company Veolia, this news agency contacted the entity, which stated that the work that currently generates dissatisfaction in the inhabitants of Las Palmas is under the responsibility of Protecno. Teleislas News opened its microphones to the company to comment on the situation.
After considering the possibility of a 20% wage increase, Teleislas News asks islanders what they think about this important issue for the economy.
There are only a few months left before the talks between union employers, labor unions, and the national government formally begin. According to Fede Desarrollo, a possible increase of 20 to 25% of the legal minimum wage in force for the year 2023 is already being considered. This is why Teleislas News asked islanders about what they think regarding the increase being contemplated and what they would like for the archipelago. Most of them consider that the national government should should consider the possibility of a differential salary given the high cost of living on the islands.
I say yes, everything is okay and you can pay more because when you get the 2%, you don't know for everything.
The 20% what he says is good, but we asking the president to help us because that's why the youth them straying away because they don't have work, they don't have nothing to help them.
I agree with the percentage and that it should be increased a little more because economy here in San Andres is difficult, and in Colombia and in the whole world people should feel comfortable with the salary. For San Andres it should be raised a little more because here the cost of life is very expensive and it is very difficult to service. A minimum wage is not enough. It is important because here on the island everything is expensive. The cost of life is very expensive, especially food. Here in San Andres there should be a differential salary because to live here it is very expensive. You can live with a little more peace, but the cost of life is very expensive. I think it's good because it's a higher percentage than years ago. Although they should increase it more than 20% because the family basket is increasing every day. I think it's good. I have faith in Petro because I have believed that the cost of life will go down and that 20% will work for people.
The high cost of living for islanders is an evil that afflicts them daily because the salaries they earn today are not enough to cover the basic needs at home. This is why in many occasions they have to resort to extra jobs.
And now it's time for Sport News with Victor Fusalva.
Hello, here are the best sports of the islands. Parents play a very important role in the life of their child. He is a very proud father that accompanies his daughter, a great champion in skating. With 2 gold medals and a silver medal, the great champion Winnie Rose Brandt Morgan proudly represented the archipelago in the national 7 colors seas skating. Proud, happy and satisfied was her father Breitner Brandt, who expressed it this way.
I am very proud to got a child like this. She's very intelligent and she likes the competition. It makes I feel very proud, and the idea is for all father and mother try put them child in a sport, for make them build up and be a good child. And the company, the father should be proud of them pitney and try accompany them in all them event because this is very important. Meanwhile, when they develop themselves.
The sport of the small wheels continue to cultivate many champions for the department, thanks to the support of parents who continue to accompany their children in their sporting activities. Hello, here are the best sports of the islands. Parents play a very important role in the life of their child. He is a very proud father that accompanies his daughter, a great champion in skating. Tournament that in its second round continues to improve the level of local players who increase their quality defensively and offensively with the help of the foreign players. Continuity has made the difference, and pitching coach Rafael Batista told us more about it.
El torneo en su fase ya van dos.
The tournament in its phase, there are already 2 rounds where the level has risen a little. The boys have already consumed from 25 to 30 turns almost. They are already putting themselves to turn almost all of the time. It is what we want, that the player who arrives to the island contributes to the boys who come in development. I would say that it has been a success where we are seeing a better level, where the boys are learning more, where they already know how to play ball. They already have more visibility to make their plays. I think this is going to be a total success. There are still 20 games left for each team. We are 100% sure that the levels is going to go up and the competition with the department also will go up. We have to try to have continuity with the tournaments, that there is not much waste of time, that the boys plays that the boy develops. We are sure that if things keep going the way they are going, San Andres is going to be something to talk about in Colombian baseball.
San Andres could definitely project good crop of players for the future if continuity is given to these tournaments as stated by Coach Batista. The Summer Baseball League tournament continues to improve its level as matches progresses.
Thank you, Victor. With Sport News, we reach to the end of our broadcast, but we see you tonight at 8 p.m. with more Teleislas News. Good afternoon.